morning and welcome to another shoe off. The last time I did one of these, I was comparing 5 different shoes to see which one I wanted to use to race the Chicago Marathon, and that order was random. It was picked out of a hat. Today is going to be very different. Today is going to be very intentional because the purpose for this shoe off is to review the Nike AlphaFly 3 and see how it compares against its direct predecessor, the AlphaFly 2, against my favorite race shoe from last year, the Saucony Endorphin Elite, and against the Nike AlphaFly 3, which is the other marquee Nike race shoe. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get set up. Alright, all set up for the changeovers. I've got the AlphaFly 2s on my feet. I don't know how much cool run footage I'm going to have today because it's dark out and it's cold and it's windy, but we will see. Okay, so the workout today is 4x2 mile at close to marathon effort. This is about as good as camera work is going to happen today. Right now I'm warming up in the AlphaFly 2. I'm going to do my first repeat in that and then go straight into the AlphaFly 3. First rep done. AlphaFly 2, about a 6:35 pace, not quite marathon pace. I think that's what today's going to be. All right, first run in these. Let's see how they compare. So 1 mile in to the AlphaFly 3. It is markedly different than the AlphaFly 2, for sure. All right, AlphaFly 3 done. Up next, Saucony Endorphin Elite. 1 mile into my rep with the Endorphin Elite. Very educational, running in these directly after the AlphaFly 3. All right. That is 2 miles. Marathon pace in the Endorphin Elite. Stop my watch. This is going to be an interesting comparison. All right, now to put on the VaporFlies for the last rep. All right, last one, VaporFly 3. 2 miles at marathon pace. Let's go. 1 mile in to the VaporFly 3 rep. Pretty sure I know where this one's going to stand. That is 2 miles in the VaporFly 3 at marathon pace. All right, let me stop the watch, do a cool down. I'll get my thoughts together for you guys. All right, so I've just finished my cool down after this shoe off, and today was really all about this shoe, which has just come out, the Nike AlphaFly 3, which I was lucky enough to get my hands on. Shout out to Charlotte Running Company, because they had these in store, and that's where I picked mine up. I wasn't one of those online warriors. So we'll go in order in the shoe with the shoes I ran in today. I started off with the Nike AlphaFly 2, and that was on purpose. If you've seen previous videos of mine, you'll know that I am not a big fan of the AlphaFly 2. I was really kind of skeptical of the AlphaFly line. There's just a lot going on under this shoe, and it didn't exactly all work together for me. It worked for a lot of people, not as well as the AlphaFly 1 as was the general consensus. And I wore these for New York Marathon 2022, and they were okay, but I definitely think other things worked better. Now, going to the AlphaFly 3 right after that, it was a big difference. You could still tell it was an AlphaFly, but with all the stuff going on underneath it, there was just more synergy. It was all working together. The fact that it is a continuous midsole now and not a decoupled midsole, I could feel that. The foam, even though it's still ZoomX foam, it just felt poppier. Not like airier necessarily like in the original VaporFlies, but just poppier. And there was definitely a lot more pop off the toe. I could feel the AirPods more. At least that's what I think I was feeling. And I really felt the spring from the plate. So I was very aware of the pop and the propulsion forward. So the AlphaFly 3, big improvement over the AlphaFly 2. I ran in the Saucony Endorphin Elite right after that because this was my marathon shoe of choice in 2023. And it's a big difference between the AlphaFly 3 and the Endorphin Elite. Not like one's better than the other big difference, but just different feels. This shoe, the Endorphin Elite, felt really natural would be a strange word to use. But the upper tends to disappear on my foot a little more than the Atom Knit in the AlphaFly 3. It just kind of fits a little bit more comfortably so that I don't think about the upper. And I'm really feeling the foam in this one rather than the spring of the plate in the AirPods in the AlphaFly 3. So I think they are both great for running really fast for a really long amount of time. This one, you could really just kind of tune out and run fast, you know, on a flat course. This one, you're not really tuning out as much. You're more focused in to how much pop it gives you. So it's really a different experience. I did my last rep in the VaporFly 3, and there's nothing wrong with the VaporFly 3. But compared to the AlphaFly 3 and the Endorphin Elite, there's nothing special about it either. It's kind of like Mario in Mario Kart. It's a great choice, and it will probably work for many people. But given the choice between the VaporFly 3 and the AlphaFly 3 for a half marathon or a marathon, I would take the AlphaFly 3 every time. Currently, the AlphaFly 3 is $25 more than the VaporFly 3, a little bit, close to 10% more. Is it worth it? I think so. I think it is, if you can get your hands on them. Now, there's not many of these available right now. They've all sold out pretty quickly. Like I said, I got mine at Charlotte Running Company. When they come out in April with the wider release and the new colorway, I imagine these are going to sell really well again. So initial review of it, initial thoughts is they really have something special here. It's definitely a big improvement in the AlphaFly line, and something that I'm excited to race in. I might even race it this weekend at Mangum Half Marathon. So if that happens, then I will do a shoe talk where I definitely follow up with some more of the performance review of the AlphaFly 3. Thanks for watching my shoe off. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or share the video, and ding the bell for notifications. If you have any questions about any of these 4 shoes or how they compare to one another, or suggestions for other content to include, then throw it in the comments. Thanks, guys. See you on the next run.